Do we miss anything?
We didn't really touch on Biggs that much, I don't think.
Like
Wedge gets pushed out the window by a whisper on fucking Shinra Tower.
Yeah, Jessie disappears into the live stream. Joey found that.
No, she doesn't.
Her headband. No, whispers aren't around her either. She just dies.
They are.
I don't have the footage.
So they're right. So they're like the clip before when she throws the grenade at the helicopter.
She says, "I never miss," right? And like
they're right behind her, and then as she's dying, you don't see them. But
I wonder if they blocked their grenade so she would die.
Tifa runs towards her, pushes them out of the way, and then sees Jessie. But they're not like
I didn't think about that.
Around.
So what if they blocked their grenade so she would die? Because if you watch the explosion, it's not like out in the open. It seems a little bit.
Yeah, it's like on the building.
Tower.
Yeah, it's closer to the building. Because but then there's the like, why is it important that she dies and not Wedge or Biggs?
Well, Wedge does die.
Yeah,
he just dies later.
I'm just saying, like, what is the importance of her being alive then? Like, why do the Arbiters have to make sure that she dies?
I don't know.
Oh, you're right. Archetype says there's a burnt helicopter behind her, so maybe it's just from like the view of the scene. It just doesn't look like the explosion goes out very far, but. But her was it her gloves are next to Biggs's bed? So are they alive?
Yeah,
is it more just like a memorial? Like they found them in the wreckage?
I thought they were his.
Nah, it might be hers. It's alluding to like her gloves and the headband, I think, right? Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. We don't know that Wedge is actually dead. I'm sorry.
I mean, the dude fell 70 stories out of a Shinra tower.
He didn't fall though. The Arbiters
got pushed out of a window.
The Arbiters just grab him, but you don't see anything.
You hear the window like break. A man gets thrown out a window.
I don't know. I thought, dude.
To be fair, you see Biggs.
I was just gonna say, yeah, I saw.
By 2 million tons of
I was
steel.
just gonna say, I saw Bidge croak right before my eyes. The guy was dead as shit.
So I'm looking at it right now. They are Biggs' gloves because they're fingerless. Like Biggs wears fingerless.
Doesn't Jessie?
Yeah, I think Jessie does too, though.
I don't think so.
I think she does. I think it's underneath the silver.
She definitely has fingerless gloves. She definitely has fingers. They all have red headbands, though. Yeah. That's the other thing.
Oh, you mean Charlie Sheen?
I guess that's true. Yeah. He's definitely Charlie Sheen. Sure.
Oh, I told Joe this. I thought when Jessie died, Tifa was going to take her headband and wrap it around her arm, and that would explain, like, why in, Tifa's always depicted with having that red headband on her arm, like in Advent Children and shit. I thought that was going to be a cool tie-in, but it never happened.
Well, I mean, that was for Geostigma.
Yeah, I know, but still, like, it could have been a cool little nod.
Geostigma.
Okay, so you're right. Jessie does wear fingerless.
Yeah, she has fingerless gloves, yeah.
Except for Wedge. Then I don't know. Maybe it is hers. I doubt it, though. I doubt it.
Ribbon, bandana, it's all the same thing, Mark.
I will say I liked how they fleshed out Mayor Domino.
Oh, he was great, yeah.
He's very forgettable in the original game. You don't even have to interact with him if you don't want. You could completely ignore him. And I liked that they made him like the man on the inside.
Yeah, that was cool.
I also liked how they sort of like started fleshing out Avalanche a bit more and saying like, yeah, Barrett is the leader of like almost like a rogue cell, an extremist cell.
Yeah, and then you get to see the real Avalanche. That was cool. Yeah.
Yeah, they're like an organized army.
Yeah,
not a band of
the guys are in like full suits and gats.
Yeah. I really, really like that. Although I will say, speaking of that same exact scene, I feel like I don't even know if Roche is gonna reappear.
Yeah, he was kind of like a wasted character a little bit.
Yeah.
Like it's just that one scene. Like
Final Fantasy character though. You're right, John.
Oh yeah, he was the most Final Fantasy-esque character I've ever seen in my life. But like he excuse me, they sort of like threw him away. Like he was in it for the first couple hours, and you fight him on the bike, and then you fight him a couple hours later in the facility, and then he's just gone.
Yeah,
like literally never heard from him.
I know John or Joe didn't pay much attention to Square's Twitter account, but I know that me and John and other Joe did, and they seem to have made him be a lot bigger deal to them than what he actually was in the game, especially with like the trailer drops. Like,
they were like, then another soldier or something.
I do think we will see him in part 2. I don't think he's going anywhere.
I really do hope we do.
I also want to go ahead.
Sorry. I was just gonna say, like, he's like a corny character and is like way over the top and very cheesy, but like, I kind of like it. You know what I mean? It's like these games have gotten so serious in the past, and anytime that they've tried to do a cheesy character, like I guess Prompto in 15, like, it's just like too much. You know what I mean? It's just it's like a 5-year-old with a bunch of 20-year-olds. It just doesn't make sense. But like Roche being this villain, who like he's a third-class soldier. He is not a first-class soldier. Yeah. He is this idiot weirdo who just happens to be very strong because he's got Jenova cells in him. Like, it was a cool character. So I do have one other thing to say before you can go ahead.
Since you mentioned Jenova cells, I'm going to actually change what I said. What do you guys think about Hojo talking about how he wanted to breed Aerith with G cells?
I think it's much 13. Better. I actually think that's a change I'm down with. Like, I am. See, and that's the thing I'm saying. Like, the original 7, as great as the game is, the story is a little weird, and there's like translation issues and things. They should cleaning things up like that in this game are the changes that I wanted to see. Like those weird off story beats and like, what do you mean we're gonna mate this girl and this dog? Like, what are you talking about? So I thought that change was actually. I'm like, oh, good. Someone has common sense. Good job, guys.
What's interesting about that change though is that if Crisis Core is no longer canon, that doesn't make sense because G cells refer to Genesis, who was the main ending boss. Spoiler.
That's the
Crisis Core.
That's the original Buster Sword owner, my friend. Oh no, it's not. No, Angeal. And Angeal's got the Buster Sword. Yeah.
So like you have Genesis, but then Genesis also appears in Dirge of Cerberus, which is Vincent's game later. So like, are they or aren't they canon anymore, or are they just picking certain things like Star Wars did?
I think the story is no longer canon, like the story that they're around, but they're still going to use material from it. That's kind of how I think they're going to use it.
Wasn't Dirge like 30 or 40 years after the main game? I never played Dirge, and I just know that everybody said it was stupid, so I never bothered.
It's well after Advent. I think it's like 15 years ago. But, so Joe, like to go to your point, one of the posters in the Sector 1 bombing mission has it advertises Benora apples or like Benora cider or something like that.
Yeah, that's the apples from Crisis Core,
right? Always talking about in his poetry. So there are things in it, and that actually makes me a little excited. Will we see Benora again? That's the things that I'm hoping for in the next part. Is like, I really liked how they fleshed out Wu-Tai. I really liked the false narrative that Avalanche is a puppet of Wu-Tai. I thought that was so smart. That was so smart, and like it makes me very excited for like the shit that they can flesh out in this world. But then the more I think about it, I'm like, why did they have to have the last hour of this game?
And that's exactly how I feel. I love those small changes that they made with the game to make the story feels like real and almost grounded. It feels real and grounded a little bit. You know what I mean?
It always did.
Yeah,
it always did.
And now
it had bad translation, but
until you start jumping off of buildings.
Exactly like the story.
Wait. I mean, let me rain on our parade a little bit. It does get fucking weird at the end.
Yeah.
Let's not forget it's. Right, we're fighting an alien.
Yeah. You're fighting an alien that fell from the sky.
It's definitely much more grounded than fucking time traveling, dual timeline Sephiroths, right? Like,
which again, we don't know if that's true or not, but we don't know if it's true. I just even the idea. The only thing I can say, the answer to them being able to see the future, but see, why would they be able to see the future if it didn't happen already? I forgot who I told this to, but do you guys feel like, because I feel like I'm playing a sequel to Final Fantasy VII. Like, so Final Fantasy VII happened, and I'm playing a game that is happening after that game already happened.
I firmly believe one way or another, Aerith told herself and Sephiroth told himself about the future through the live stream in the future. So we are.
How do they know? How do they know?
That's the only thing I can.
How do they know?
Fathom. Not even like future Sephiroth is physically there, like I said earlier. But I firmly believe that through the live stream and Sephiroth's death and Aerith's death, they have found a way to communicate to their past selves, and that's the only reason why they even know about the future.
So
it's
Joe,
stupid, but I think that's what happens.
How could they know? I think the gimmick would be that the planet is what knows.
Yes.
So the live stream is aware.
Knowledge. Yeah.
I guess they can write
like
themselves out of that box with that, I guess.
The Whispers and the Arbiter is sort of like, if you want to think about it, like work for the planet. Like, the Lifestream knows the destiny. The Arbiter's job is to keep the destiny.
Yes.
And because Sephiroth is literally in a materia near the Lifestream, and then because he was thrown into the Lifestream, he knows, and because Aerith is a Cetra, she knows because she can.
Because the Lifestream, that's actually a good way to write that out. Now, I was talking to Joe about this.
That's why I'm largely okay with it, because it's like. That's why I think I don't mean to cut you off. Like that's why I'm largely okay with the direction they're going, because it feels like even though they know these things, the major story beats are, and we're still gonna get this like reimagined.
Are they, John?
Yeah, I disagree with you right there.
There to protect the timeline.
That's where I disagree.
We're still gonna see.
Are we?
No, you're not.
John, we are in an endgame situation where they did not take the Infinity Stones back in time.
Yeah,
the world hasn't changed.
From the bottom of my heart, I do not think we're gonna see half of the stuff we're supposed to see.
Aerith's not dying.
I
boys.
really, from the bottom of my heart, believe that we are. Look, will it be 50%? I think we'll be lucky if we see 50% of the story that we know. I really do.
Two big predictions. Aerith isn't dying, and Zack is going to play a much bigger role in the current story than he ever did before, based on the end of the game. And that's stupid.
But they're not in the same world, so I don't understand.
They can tell the future. Why can't he join their world, John?
Because they walk.
John, the Lifestream's all powerful, my friends.
He is alive, though. He is clear.
He is alive.
I think that he's alive. I really do think that he's alive.
They could write off of it and say that he died taking Cloud at the edge of the cliff, but that was not what was alluded to.
But is it clear that he's alive?
But hold on.
He looks okay.
But what if right? Like, it is just an alternate timeline, and right, like, we're just seeing glimpses of it, but. Like you said, John, right? We're still going to go through the main story beats, and everything's going to be the same. It's just we're just seeing what if. It's just like a big what if.
And you guys, it's been a while since I've actually watched Crisis Core. I've never played it. I was actually going to make myself. At the end, when Zack dies, don't play it.
Yeah, no, don't play that game. Yeah, don't play that game.
Wait, so
just watch it. Yeah, just watch it. Yeah, it's 4 hours. Just watch it.
When Zack dies, does he die when those soldiers attack him, or does he fight off the first wave and then he takes Cloud to the edge and then dies? Like, how does it actually play out in Crisis Core?
So they do kill. He kills
most of them. Yeah, he kills most of them. A second wave comes.
Them show up and they just pump him full of lead, and he's dying. And they're like, "Fuck it, we're out."
So there's no him taking Cloud to the edge and then he just dies.
Cloud actually crawls to him dead, and then he says, Zack tells Cloud, "You're my living legacy, whatever," and then Cloud takes the sword. That's how it ends. See, and this is why we have to check the ending again, because remember, Midgar is like a hub of this dimension thing, I think, because the Arbiters are clearly visible in Zack's scene. You can see them.
Aerith blasts them when they're fighting,
and then Zack feels the blast also. That's why I think that there's. That's why I'm a believer that it's like two timelines running at the same time a little bit. Well, obviously it's not the same time because Zack is the past and what they're doing is the present. But Zack sees the Arbiters. You can see, now Zack can't see the Arbiters. I doubt it because there's no mention. He'd probably be like, "Yo, what the fuck is that?" But he could just not mention.
I don't even think he sees it.
I don't think so either. Yes, absolutely. I agree with you. I don't think Zack sees the Arbiters. It's just to let us know that, hey, they're around Midgar where we are, and they're around Midgar where Zack is, and then we destroy them, they blow up, and there's that gold glow, and then Zack feels the explosion of us destroying the Arbiters. And that is why I'm really nervous about this double timeline 2-dimension thing. Very, very troubled by it. And there's those small things that make it sound true. Sorry, Joe.
No.
He actually gets knocked.
Yeah, he feels it.
Of the Arbiters.
He feels it. He goes like this and falls over.
He gets knocked 10 feet away because of the blast.
He feels the blast. So it happened in where he is, and then he says, "Is that the last of them?" He picks up Cloud and he starts walking again to Midgar.
He's like, he's like Cloud, not much further. Like,
yeah.
Cloud's hurt more.
Look at Joe destroying Joseph. Joseph's giving up all hope. Joseph's giving up all hope. he just sat back in his chair. It was just I felt his sigh from here, as if he was sitting right next to me.
And then you have the arbiter ashes that everybody's blowing.
The gold.
Like, oh yeah.
Yeah, the gold like ash is in both scenes. It's silly. And it's silly goose.
Everywhere you see this ash is this scene, obviously.
Yes.
So that goes to all the big stuff. Does it happen when they're putting up the sign to Seventh Heaven though?
Yes. Mara looks up and it starts.
Oh yeah. So this is all alternate timeline shit.
So the interesting thing is that Zack does get blown back, but nothing else.
No.
Like none of the bodies around him move. Like the grass doesn't even move. But the glow is on his face, so I think he can see the explosion because he even looks at Midgar and he's like,
"Yeah,
like, yeah." And the glow is on his sword, so I think he can see it after that. But I don't think he ever sees the ghost.
Yeah, I do not think he sees the arbiters whatsoever. I think he only sees and feels the impact. Maybe he doesn't. Can you tell if he sees the impact or does he just feel it?
He feels it. He gets knocked back from it.
I'm saying, does it look like he can see the explosion, or does he just feel the impact?
He can see it because doesn't he like squint his eyes? Let me open him back
up. I don't remember the scene.
I'm pretty sure he squints his eyes back.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. He stares at it and his eyes kind of like.
So he sees it. Okay, all right. So he.
I just realized too. Sorry, this is like completely off topic, but I'm watching it. Right, you pretty much go through like a wormhole before the Edge of Creation. Like Cloud goes through almost like a wormhole.
Yeah, like the space. Like I know what you're saying. Yeah.
He does that in the first game too, though.
Does he?
Well, at the very end of the game, when you're going to Omni/Seth.
Yeah, like when he like lets go, like when the earthquake happens after they defeat like Sephiroth.
Yeah.
Because like he's still down there, I can feel him, and then he goes and then he goes down. So I mean that would.
But that's the subconscious. Though, right? Yeah, that might be the wormhole to his subconscious, just like in the OG7. So maybe
I think there's more just a nod to it than anything.
Maybe the Edge of Creation is actually his head.
So I think, like you guys keep saying, like the ending of the original game is in his subconscious. I don't think that's true at all.
No, I don't either. I think that's not
like
has nothing to do with his self-conscious.
Yeah, when Cloud Omni/Sephiroth, that's where the live stream. When that Sephiroth dies,
that's at the planet's core.
Yeah. But I do think this Edge of Creation thing is in his.
I always thought that was his psyche.
Mm-mm.
I'm
with Joe on that one too. I thought it was a psyche also.
No, because like John said, when you kill him in the core of the planet, then the live stream is able to come out and help stop Meteor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it does. It does happen. It does happen after the Omni/.
Yeah, like before you fight him, like you see like what is supposed to be like like the live stream being held in like a cocoon from Sephiroth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you are right. You do see the gold ash in both Meryl's scene and in Zack's scene. So both timelines of Midgar are seeing that ash fall.
I just feel like it's so messy because it's like, I mean. Not to get into Endgame, but like I feel like Endgame handled time travel pretty well, and like
more better than most people.
Yeah.
It's always going to be very messy, and so I'm wondering, like, just say you're in this Zack timeline, how far does that reach? You know what I mean? Does that go all the way back to Nibelheim? Like, why is Sephiroth choosing now to change things? Like, why is he choosing these particular moments? Is it because it's convenient because this is the game we already played, or is it like?
I think that's it.
Reason? Like, why didn't
convenience?
Yeah, I think it's just convenient too.
It's plot convenience.
Yeah, plot convenience. Yeah. I was gonna say this before, and I think I was talking to Joe about it, and I think Joe sent me the article, but I want to see how you guys feel. Unless we have anything else to talk about, then we'll wrap this up. But in the original OG7. Sephiroth falls in the live stream with Jenova's head.
Yes.
In this game, he falls in with nothing because Jenova's completely intact.
What do you mean he falls in with
you don't know.
No, you have to.
Jenova. You don't know if he fell in with nothing. You don't know if he fell in with nothing.
But Jenova is in one perfect piece. He's carrying the whole body.
She's missing her head.
Yeah,
No,
she's still missing her head.
I don't think so. You could
Yeah,
see the visor.
She's got the same helmet thing
You
on
could
that she had in
see
Shin.
you could see the visor over the helmet part.
But it's not over her head. In the flashback,
It's where her head would be.
It's where her head would be.
Are you
But in
sure?
The original set, dude, I'm positive.
Yeah,
I'm
because
finding the clip again.
the clone that's carrying Jenova's body is missing a head.
Are you
Right,
sure?
Like the body is missing a head.
Are you sure?
Are you
Yeah,
sure?
I got
Yes.
the picture.
Yeah, and in the original 7,
He has her
like,
head.
when Sephiroth when Sephiroth like first sees Jenova in Nibelheim, and he says like starts calling her mother, all that crazy shit. Like when he starts doing that, she has a face.
Yeah. It's a
And
girl's
then-
face.
But he takes that head,
Yes.
and then when we see it in Shinra, it's just the body.
Yeah,
The head is
exactly.
missing.
But that's what
And
I'm
the head is
saying.
missing in this game too.
I could have sworn to God when they showed the capsule, it had the head thing on it. And that's what I was saying. And then that's what I asked Joe. I'm like, did he fall on the live stream with nothing now? Or does he still have a piece of her?
It did an OG also. Like because you see her in Shinra, you see the head thing, don't you?
No,
Remember
no.
wrong?
In Shinra,
it's
it's a
very
capsule with
murky.
no head.
Yeah, it's very like the headgear. I don't think is in the original.
Hey, so
in Shinra.
the Jenova clone that you kill is 46.
49.
49.
49.
I don't think that's a 9. Is it a 9? Do you see that clone anywhere else in the game specifically?
No.
So you see 2 clones.
Yeah,
in the game. You see the one in the apartment.
I guess it doesn't have a head. I guess you guys are
You
right.
see 2 outside of Sector
Yeah.
5. I know that.
No, you see 1 outside of.
No, I'm just saying. No. Like he has the tattoo number 2.
Right, and then there's the guy who lives next door to Cloud. That was weird. Like you get an apartment, but you don't get to do anything with it. That's like a mini game waiting to happen. Like what was that about?
Yeah, there's definitely no head on Jenova.
Yeah, I can
when,
see it
when
now. Yeah.
Cloud's like mother. Yo, I lost my shit when he called her mother too.
Yeah.
That was sick.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. Do you think Hojo knows?
So Hojo knows who Cloud is 100% because he tries to start telling Cloud that he's not a member or soldier, and the fates push him away.
I'm asking, like, do you think Hojo knows everything?
Yes.
You think he knows about the arbiters and all that?
I don't know.
I don't
if
think he knows about the
if it's
arbiters.
that extent because
Who the hell knows?
he keeps talking about his experiment and how his hypothesis was correct after Cloud and Sephiroth have their first interaction. So he knows more than
Yeah, he knows more than
He
he's
knows
leading
that
out.
at least what OG Hojo knew. And I'm not saying that could just be for story convenience and Hojo being like more of a mad scientist in this than he was in the other one even.
Yeah, Hojo knew about the reunion in the original.
Yeah,
The reunion
and
was his hypothesis.
and he knows about the reunion in this one as well, though. I feel like he
Yeah.
says it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. Either way, it could just be because everybody cares so deeply about this game that we're over speculating it. It's very possible. It's fun too. It is fun too.
Yeah,
but I
yeah.
still disagree with the last hour of the game.
Listen,
no matter what the case is.
I agree with you, but I think the game developers got exactly what they wanted. You know why? Because us five idiots are sitting here right now streaming and talking about it.
We've been
And
talking about
there's-
it here for an hour.
Yeah.
Me and you have been talking about it since
for like
what,
2 days.
Saturday?
Yeah, 3
Saturday or
days.
Sunday?
Like the developers definitely did what they intended to do. You know, like regardless of which way you slice it, they certainly did what they want. They got people talking about it. There's 1,000 videos. If you're mad or not, it's still interesting. You know what I'm saying? And regardless of how you feel about the ending part, the game was still insane. Like the game was clearly still insane. And
Dude,
up
until that final hour and a half, 2 hours, like up until that wormhole on the highway, I was just thinking to myself, like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Like, even the little things they put in, like the whispers, even up to that point, I was like completely fine with literally everything.
Yep.
And like everything.
I was like, they did it. They did the impossible. They nailed this game.
Yes.
I will
And
say
then I was like,
one-
what the fuck?
Yep. Yep.
I will say the one complaint that I have, and I posted this on Twitter, is the geography. Like the Sector 7 upper city falls on the lower
You
still
lost
don't
sleep over this,
understand
John. You lost sleep over
I
this.
Yeah.
don't get it.
Yeah.
They dropped one city on another,
And you can still see the
go back to
slums.
the one on the ground. How did did it just disintegrate? Like,
I think
that doesn't
it
make
was
sense.
more so.
I mean, the plate definitely could have cracked.
No, the
But
entire
then when
thing.
you're
You watch it. The
climbing-
entire thing falls,
And when you're climbing, you're looking down at
and you
all
can
the rubble.
see sky.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you're in the slums, you look up and you're like, oh shit, the sky's there.
Yeah.
Okay. But
So I think it was more just oversight than anything.
I think so.
I think it was oversight.
Like, some of those backdrops looked really fucking bad, while others looked okay.
Dude, some of the backdrops, I was like, that is a Final Fantasy VII 1997 pre-rendered background.
So I'll actually tell you this. I think the Loveless poster that they are using is the original asset. Like, I think that is deliberately the original asset. Because it shows up in a lot of places, and the text on that poster, unlike any other poster in the game, is fuzzy. And I think it's the original asset.
It might be
like an Easter egg.
That's what he reads. That's what Homie reads in Crisis Core, right? It's the Loveless.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, in the Seventh Heavens, you guys go in the back corner and see the hanging pictures of the original Seventh Heaven.
No,
I didn't see it. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, there's pictures from OG 7 and Remake in the back corner of Seventh Heaven.
That's cool.
Oh, cool. So I do want to say there's a conversation in the Sector 7 slums between some citizens as you're just walking by, and they're talking about the Loveless play. And one person says to another, like, hey, did you see this play? Yeah, I saw it. You got to see it on stage. New production. The ending is a little different, and you might miss it. Like, and if you're not paying attention, you might not spot the difference. So I'm wondering if that was Nomura, like, telling you that
Absolutely, yeah. Dude, this guy thinks he's Kojima the second. He thinks he's as clever as Kojima, but he's not.
I wish Joe was wrong, but yo, Kingdom Hearts is so bad.
I mean, I couldn't get through the first one, so.
I played 2, and I was just like, I'm out. Yo, this shit's awful. So like, that's the thing, right, John? Like, you haven't played them, right? So I got through 2, and like, that's my biggest fear, that this franchise becomes Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
I can't wait till Cloud's Love or Heartless comes out.
I have watched the timelines of that game, and it always just blows me away.
It's a disaster. Everyone says the Arbiter boss is like the training boss of Kingdom Hearts. It's like, oh yeah, I fought this guy in all 3 Kingdom Hearts games. The same guy.
Wow.
David Bunch's words to us when I showed him the picture was, I fought that guy in the very first boss. I got 6 XP.
Yeah. This is the same boss in every one.
FF7 358 over 2, where it's gonna be the next one.
Look, John, Maurice just said.
I'm worried about the naming structure. I am worried about the naming structure because this was called Final Fantasy VII Remake.
I think it'll just be Remake Part 2.
You think so?
I think it'll just be Remake, and they'll just tag a Part 2 onto it.
Yeah.
Pretty God, they do.
I think it'll just
Final
be
Fantasy VII Remake: The Unknown Journey.
Yeah, the unknown journey. The unknown. The unknown journey.
Joe's first words to me was, "It's not an unknown journey, Bart. I know what the journey is."
That's the first thing I should do, dude. I was sitting there like this, and I was like, "Bull fucking shit, unknown journey." You're talking to the wrong. Yeah, I'm like, yo, you're talking to the wrong guy, homie. Unknown journey, my ass.
Really well, because Joe beat it maybe like 20 minutes ahead of me, and when I'm fighting Sephiroth with his wing out, I'm like, Joe, why am I fighting him with his wing? He goes, I don't know.
I cannot tell you why. I wish I could.
So I do wonder if that was to like kind of like merge all the different versions of Sephiroth.
I think so.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, I don't think there's any story relevance to it whatsoever.
Yeah,
I think it's just cool yeah. You know, everybody likes Sephiroth, one-winged angel. Let's see it. Throw it out. Let's see it.
Him, Genesis, and Angeal all had wings.
Yeah, they all have one wing. Yeah, they all have one wing.
But yeah, when that's like the one character progression that really bugs the shit out of me in this game is like Cloud just turns into Advent Children Cloud in an hour. And it comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like,
yep.
At no point is he ever ready to fight some cosmic fucking entity. Like, none of them are. You know what I mean? Like, when Sephiroth shows up again in Advent Children, they all just let Cloud handle it.
Yeah.
Because they're
no one fights him.
Before.
Yeah.
He's beat him before. He can do it again.
They
no big deal.
They even say this is his battle. Like he I think Red says it. Someone says this is his fight or something like that. Yeah.
I think Tifa says it and says basically that he needs this.
Yeah, like he needs to do this. Yeah.
Because he has so much guilt for what happens to Aerith.
Dude, when the fight with Sephiroth first starts, or maybe it's when the fight with the Arbiter first, and they're like chucking pieces of the buildings at him, and he's just cutting through them, and it's like.
To be fair, they went that way with Tifa. So I don't know if you guys know this, but in that last fight, you get a random set of characters. So if you've not actually played it again since, you can get Barrett, Tifa, or Aerith. Just it's randomly selected when you start your first fight with the Arbiter. And I only know that because I've been going through hard mode, and that, by the way, chapter 18 is actually kind of hard on hard mode.
It was hard on normal.
But Tifa like does her little somersault clip or kick through like a concrete wall. Aerith blasts the concrete wall. Like they're all doing crazy shit in this dimension.
Maybe
do you think that
maybe it's all in their heads.
Yeah, like
maybe it's all in their heads.
I don't think it's in their heads. I think it's all Jenova illusion. Just some, well, I don't say all a Jenova illusion because they clearly go through a portal.
Like that is the good way. That is the good way of the story. That's like the good ending.
But but
that's 102% ending.
But you still have the situation where Zack is feeling the blast of the Arbiters.
Yeah.
So we got like two different issues going on here. You know what I mean? Yeah. There's
and Biggs is alive.
Yeah.
Like all I have to say to you guys is I read a comment on Reddit after I beat the game, and it hit me and it sat in my stomach. We are never getting a Final Fantasy VII remake.
I agree with Bart. I agree with Bart 100%.
We are never getting a Final Fantasy VII remake.
The thing is always that for 37 hours, we got it.
We did. They nailed it out of the fucking park. I punched my chair when Cloud came on down the stairs on his motorcycle. It was so sick.
I kind of agree.
Reactor 5 was bananas. Like, just like doing all of that and then seeing like being in that reactor empty without a scorpion boss or whatever, right? And it's just glowing. What was it? Blue.
Yeah, it's blue.
And it's just like, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's like actually beautiful to just be in that reactor and be like, yo, we're about to bomb the shit out of this.
Blow this up.
I just don't understand how you can nail so much on staying true and still doing small changes for story's sake or to expand ideas, and then and this is obviously an opinion, but to fuck it up so badly in the last 1% of the game.
They definitely.
Yeah, that's why I said it's opinion. Not everybody agrees with it, but I firmly believe that they fucked up by doing it.
I'm okay with them doing weird things. I'm totally okay with it. I just think that they should have done it at the start of the next game, not at the. I don't know. Like, I just feel like the timing was bad. Like, this is almost Final Fantasy IX levels of what the fuck. Like, Final Fantasy IX, you are chasing Kuja through the last 3 discs of that game.
Yeah.
You kill Kuja, and then you wake up and fight God. And it's just like, what the fuck just happened?
They kind of do the same thing in 8, though. You're
they kind of do the same thing in 10, too.
Idia the entire time, and then you're fighting Ultimecia.
Yeah, Ultimecia, yeah.
Yeah.
You do the same thing in 10 also, right?
You're going after Seymour. Yeah, it's Seymour. Then it's like, oh wait, yeah,
Seymour,
you have an Jack,
and then
Jack.
Yevon. Like, who the fuck is you, Yevon?
And even 12, right? 12, you get the but you get the whatever they're called, right? It's the same sort of thing.
Yes,
the aliens or whatever.
Yeah, I will say, like, I'm not trying to shit on 9. Like, 9 is such a great game for 61 hours, and then the 62nd hour fighting that last boss, just like, who is this? Why am I fighting this person? What is any of this? Why did he just one-shot me? Like, it's just so bad. Like, yeah, that really, really annoyed me. And it just feels like they introduced something at the end with no payoff. Just like a lot of confusion.
Yep.
Like, it's sort of like, I don't know, like, I know we talk about Kojima sometimes, but like, the proper way to do it is to include both games in one. Like, go through the tanker mission, some weird shit happens, but then it just immediately gets it. You know what I mean? Like, just wrap it all up. It gives us another 10 hours of what this is. It just feels like that they shouldn't have done what they did at the end of it.
Well, again, they had to do something to cater to new and old fans, and that's really what it comes down to. People that never played the original needed something, and people that know the original needed something. And this is what we got.
People that know the original needed anything because they nailed it. The entire end fight with Sephiroth was done for new people that want to circle jerk on Sephiroth and fight him at the end of the game. That's all it was done for.
Yeah. Dude, when I killed motorball at the end.
I thought it was done.
Yeah, me too.
I said to my girlfriend sitting next to me, I was like, so this is where the game ended, or this is where the game should end. I have no idea why I'm still.
Yeah.
I was fine with Sephiroth being at the end of the bridge.
Yeah.
I was fine with all of that.
Yeah.
Like what Joe said to me, what should have happened, and I agree, is Aerith does her little portal thing on top of his. They walk out and they see the world, and that's where it should have ended.
Sure.
Yeah, like I had my wife sitting next to me, and she was like, "Do you know what's going on?" And I was like, "No." And I was like,
frustrated too. Like, no, I don't, and I should. I don't know.
And I was just like I said to her, I was like, the original game was much more grounded. Those are my exact words. Like, much more grounded, and like that's. I don't know, man. Like, it just rubs me the wrong way that we're getting so much of Sephiroth, and he's so powerful already, and we're fighting him, and it's like, literally at the end of the world. It's just like, why are the stakes so high when they're not supposed to be this early?
Also, not only are they that high, they are that high with zero development of the villain, Sephiroth. Context. Yeah, there's no context. There's no development. It's like, all right, I guess we're fighting this guy. Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, because all Aerith does, she tells the party that, like
he's bad. Yeah, he's bad. We got to stop him.
Everything about you is wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything about you is wrong because she knows that he's from the future.
He knows the future.
It's 38 hours of perfection followed by 2 hours of what the
questionable material.
And it's like, I'm fine with it at the end of the day. Like, I'm excited for the second game. I want to find out what they're doing, but it's just like, this wasn't necessary.
They are walking a very thin rope right now in terms of pissing off your original fan base. And do they care or not, I guess, is the...
I'm not sure if it matters. I think everyone's buying the game anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys a question, though. So, if they don't, really build on the combat, right, so like in Kingdom Hearts, right, what they tend to do, what they did between 1 and 2 and 3, I mean, they're across many years, right, but they layered on a lot of systems, right? Would you guys be okay if that they kept it mostly the same? Obviously expanded materia, obviously expanded summons, but right, like, would you be okay if it stayed mostly the same, or do you want it expanded, much further?
First preference would be open world. Because one of the original interviews said that the reason why they had to do split 4 and 5 was they needed the hardware of the 5 to do open world in the way that they needed to. But I don't think we're getting that anymore, and preference is to have it. I would be okay if it didn't, as long as I get the core of my story.
So, Joe, can you just repeat the question? I want to make sure I understood all three.
Yeah, so it's mostly about the combat, right? Like, so, would you be okay if it stays mostly the same? There's not a lot of adding and layering of systems, right? It's just, mostly this sort of action turn-based blend with expanded materia and summons, right? That goes without saying. But, like, the combat core and systems stay mostly the same. You're not, like, making it overly complex. Or complex in a good way.
Sorry, Joe, I heard like the complete opposite.
Yeah, I know, it's okay. or would you be like happy if it just stays pretty much the same?
Can I already have my answer, so I want to say it. I think a couple of fine tweaks in the combat would work good, and I think they should implement the Final Fantasy X character switching into the game, or have something I think that would be fucking crazy. I think so, and maybe doing like a not that you had 2 different parties, but if it was like 3 and 3 or 2 and 2, I think that might be something cool you could do too. But I don't think they could just do this game again in different areas. I would rather them touch things up a little bit and like tweak the battle system, have, like I said, the other characters be able to come into the fight. I think that would be really cool.
So I think, or Bart, did you want to give your answer?
So I would be fine with it staying exactly the same. I like the materia system. I liked the combat. I thought it was a good mix of active and like a good time, because they won't ever give us a full turn-based game again. I don't think it's ever going to happen.
Yeah, I don't think it's happening.
Yeah.
So I was very pleased with how it resulted and how it felt.
So I would keep it the exact same. Joe, I think you have a very good idea there. Because at the end of the game, for a few minutes, you have a 5 party. not necessarily in combat.
Yeah,
There's
but
no combat encounters between Aerith's room and the executive suite.
Yeah, like, but they're all there. Yeah.
Everyone is following.
Yeah, they're all there. Yeah.
Like, yeah, and so like, I think that is if that happens, I would be so happy, because the only time the party ever actually splits is disc 2, when Cloud is like fucked up, and then you have Sid getting one materia, Tifa getting another.
Yeah.
Or is it Tifa? I forget. I know you go with Sid to lead the party for a while.
No, Tifa stays.
Tifa stays with Cloud. It's just Sid, and you get like the larger materia, whatever the hell they are, the larger ones. I forgot what it's called.
To space, and then you do the train in
Yeah.
So like, I do think that having that Final Fantasy X mechanic of switching parties would be great, and I'm almost wondering if they already thought of that, because at the end of the game, especially during the Arbiter's fight, your party switches a lot.
Yeah.
Like, you get, it switches all the time. And like, they already have field models for Tifa, Aerith, there. Like, you control them at certain parts of the game. So I think that I hadn't thought of that, but I think that is like a great.
Yeah. I think they should do it. I really don't think they should keep it as is. I think it should be very similar, but they should always touch up on the battle system. And then they do it in every single Final Fantasy. I know that this is technically the same game, but I do think they should like tweak it, tighten it, add one more layer to the combat a little bit. Not get too crazy, but just one more small layer to enjoy.
Do you guys think we're getting the rest of the party in part 2? I don't want to get too far into speculation, but I'm generally curious if you think we will.
Like Vincent?
Yeah.
Sid, Vincent, and Yuffie, and Kate.
I'm excited for Yuffie's story. Right?
Yeah, especially with Wutai. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
I feel like Yuffie is guaranteed. I feel like Kate Sith is guaranteed. I feel like Sid is guaranteed. I feel like Vincent maybe not so much.
I feel like Vincent
has
too close ties to Hojo to not.
He does, but I don't know if we'll get him in part 2 though.
And he's so vital to the story.
Yeah, like I guess the question is, because so Yuffie you can get in a variety of any jungle, you can get her, or any forest.
Yep.
And the first forest you get is right before Junet. So I'm sure they're just going to give you her at a very set point. I don't think she's going to be optional.
Yeah, nobody's missable.
Yeah,
I don't think that's happening.
Missable. Yeah.
But yeah, I think there's like huge opportunity for. The only one I'm actually curious about is Sid. Like, Sid has connections to Shinra as like a corporation, because they've like fucked him over several times.
And his rocket is in the museum.
It is. Okay, so the fact that Palmer is in the game this early.
Yeah.
I think I'm just rethinking now. Like, I think that I think we're going to get everybody, because I guess what I'm really trying to say is like, the rest of the party shows up really quick. Like, you get Kate Sith.
Yeah.
You do Gold Saucer. Then you go to you go to Gongaga, you go to Cosmo Canyon, go to Nibelheim, get Vincent. At this point, you should probably already have Yuffie. And then you get Sid right after Nibelheim. So like, it's just like boom, 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 boom. You get the next 4 characters really fast. So yeah, I think they'll all be in there.
I will say that I think that I'm actually, now that I've seen how Red functioned in the game, I'm surprised he wasn't controllable, just not customizable.
Yeah.
I think it's just time. Like, you get him so late,
everything was there though.
Like, to buy an item for him.
Yeah, but make it so you can't put items on him, or you can't change his item. You can't change his materia. All of his animations were all there. Why couldn't we control them?
Yeah, but then you got to do.
They already have AI for him.
But then you got to do like limit breaks, and then you got to have items.
He has Stardust Ray.
Yeah.
But you don't. I guess he does.
And I think.
And anytime he is fighting, you only ever have 2 people. I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure anytime he actually is in combat, you only have 2 other people. No, I think that's wrong, because he fights with you in Jenova. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got to be a time thing.
That fight was good.
Yeah, it's got to be a time thing.
It could be like the way old games were made was you had a battle model, a field model, and I think a cutscene model, and maybe they just didn't have time to do like a full-fledged combat model that you controlled.
Yeah.
Because like, when you do that, you have to account for a lot of things a player is going to do, like just like the sheer direction change. Like, if you just want to like fuck around with the joystick, the character's going to move in a weird way.
Yeah.
You probably just didn't want to deal with that. And like, also like, he has an attack animation, he has a limit break animation, But then you have to think about like this new system. Everybody has like 7 abilities.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It would feel kind of shitty to get this character who maybe has 1 ability. You have no opportunity to build him up.
Yeah.
You know, like I understand.
On the flip side of this, it took them this long to give us 4 playable characters. Are we really getting an additional 5 in part 2?
I do. I think so because again, right? Like it's the hard work is done.
Yeah. 90.
Right. Assets are built.
Not
Right?
90%, but a lot of it is done.
All of the 4 characters are.
Not for those characters though.
Yeah.
Outside of Red, I guess. So then
Sure.
there's another 4, but
like, I mean, they have tons of experience building characters already, right? And they've built a ton of models. I mean, a ton of models in this game.
Yeah.
Right. So like, I just think that it'll go much faster.
Yeah. I think
if they wait too long.
Ooh, good track.
I'm gonna be pissed.
What's the track? You're the only one who can hear it.
Really? Oh, it's bumping right now.
Jenova.
It's bumping in here right now. It's bumping. But I actually do agree with Joe. I think it took so long because they had so much shit to do. Models, combat. This is like a brand new engine. I've never played anything like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Models,
Yeah.
combat, engine, graphics, implementing the materia, the story. Now they have a good chunk of that done. Now it's just implementing other characters. So it shouldn't take that long. It should be a lot easier for them to actually execute. So
I'm thinking 2 years.
Oh, nice.
2 years. We won't even. They won't
2
even.
years.
Well, I'm gonna say they won't even talk about it for 2 years, and then be in between like 2.5 to 3, we'll actually get it.
I mean, to be fair, right? I think like what's going on in the world right now.
yeah.
In some things.
Yeah.
I mean, look how, dude, Joey hasn't even gotten his real copy.
Yeah. So.
Wow, really?
He
Mark
still
just
only has
got
the one
his,
I
like-
got from the shopping queen.
Yeah, Mark got his like 2 days ago from Amazon.
It got delayed again. It was supposed to come originally yesterday, then today. Now it says either tomorrow or Friday.
Wow.
Hey, the one time we actually get something on time, and it was Square that did it. It's surprising.
Dude, I didn't get my first class edition until the day of release.
Oh,
And like,
that's
I'm not
right.
complaining. Like, I got it. You know, like
Yeah.
and I'm never gonna bitch about shipping being a problem at this time, but it's just like the fact that this game was so hard to get. Last of Us 2 has been delayed. I'm almost guaranteeing Ghost of Tsushima is getting delayed because that's supposed to be June. Like, I think like the state of the world has like fucked the industry, you know? And it's gonna take a long time to recover. I was thinking that this would be like either it wouldn't be a PS5 launch game part 2, but we get a trailer PS5.
Yeah.
Like-
probably trailer when they actually show the system.
That's way too soon.
Not
That's 6
really.
months.
Not
If
really.
we see the system this year,
I mean,
Yeah,
how hard can
and
you
then-
put a trailer together?
Yeah.
no way they're gonna put a trailer for part 2. And
And
It doesn't-
put trailers together before the
It
game's
doesn't.
even developed.
It doesn't even have to be a trailer. It could be a cutscene of nothing. It doesn't have to be zero
Could be a
gameplay.
logo.
You
Yeah, it
guys
could be
are
a
out
fucking
of
logo.
your damn minds if you think we're getting a trailer in the next year and a half.
No, it's definitely happened. Dude,
How
I
much-
mean,
how
it
much
took
you wanna
them
bet, John?
5 years.
How much you want to bet, John?
All right. Well, we're gonna talk about Final Fantasy because I gotta cut this video and upload it. So we're just gonna bullshit about this. Let's end it.
I want to talk some more. Right? Unless if you want to end it.
No,
right?
no, that's fine. But
Could we talk
I can
about,
literally
like,
talk about this for like 6 hours, but I probably do need to go spend some time with my girlfriend soon. So
Could we actually talk about like just the fact that we played this fucking game? It was real.
It's
right?
real.
Like,
Yeah,
John,
it existed.
John knows the whole fucking time. I was like, yo, Square is doing the best PR for a fake fucking game. Like, yo, this game is real. It looked fantastic. It played fantastic. Like, dude, 15 years ago, we were like memeing about it. We were like, oh my god, we seen some trailer. This might happen. It's never gonna happen.
yeah.
And like, yo, we actually played it. It's ridiculous. I don't know. Like, I feel like throughout all this speculation, we should appreciate what they did because they definitely put together some crazy shit.
I have nothing but respect for this game. The only other game that even comes close, and it's not even close due to the scale of the game, the only other game that succeeded like this was, I think, Resident Evil 2. There's never been anything that was handled with more care and like love injected into the development of a game besides Resident Evil 2. But again, Final Fantasy 7 is way bigger, much grander of a scale.
I was gonna say I agree with you, but this is on a whole
No, yeah,
fucking
that's
planet.
that's what I'm saying. It's not it's in the same vein, but obviously not close due to the scale of the game. But the game was handled and created with nothing but care and love up until that last hour.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think this is like the game of the generation in a way. Like, it's close with Resident Evil 2, and like this is coming from somebody who didn't actually play RE2 before the remake came out. Like, I was very green on Resident Evil. I only ever played the first one up until that point. But like, yeah, I think you're totally right. Like, it's just, this was made with a lot of love. I just think that like the level of a troll at the end of this game, especially if you think about it, like, they put out 4 dev diaries, and at no point did they ever show, hint, say anything that like anything was going to change. Like, of course they mentioned like things will change, but not like this. You know what I mean? Like, so that's why I kind of have confidence in it that it's going to work out okay. Like,
is that true though? Because didn't Nomura say that fans might be unhappy in one of them?
I think he did, like in one of the last ones.
It might have been the story one or something. Or
yeah,
the character one.
I think it was something from pretty recently. I think.
I almost vividly remember him saying like, yeah, you know, old fans, you know, it's going to be divisive and like fans might be unhappy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember.
I think just in closing, like I'm okay with what they're doing. I do think the ending came out of nowhere, and I wish it was handled better. But like, I'm fine with it. Like, I'm excited.
This was what, like 7 years of development time?
5.
From probably when they we saw it in 5, but like total time, they probably before we saw it, they did the first like CGI trailer. They had to have been working on it for what, 2 years at that point. I think the Jessie actress said that she recorded voices for this like 5 or 6 years ago.
So from what I remember, like when that trailer came out, they had just
2015, right?
Yeah, they had just started putting it together.
Okay.
Because the game, like, they had an outside company developing this game for them.
Yeah, and then they didn't like it, and they scrapped it.
In-house. Scrapped it. So I think in reality, this game was developed closer to 4 years, not 5. That's why, like, and given that the PS5 is the same architecture, you know what I mean? Like, everything is so streamlined now that like the next game's coming way fast.
So this is exactly what Nomura said. The remake will be releasing soon, but it's not like it's overriding the original Final Fantasy VII. The original game is the source of everything, and thanks to it, we were able to make a new, unique experience.
Experience?
Fans of the original game will have a different, new experience compared to when they played the original, and I hope those who discover everything with the remake will enjoy it too.
Whatever.
So he gave an answer without giving an answer, basically.
This guy has been studying Kojima for the past 15
I told you, this is the most Kojima shit without playing a Metal Gear Solid I've ever had to deal with. It's crazy. It's crazy. All right, guys, closing.
I will say that this was a very special experience. I think a lot of us hold this game very close to us. For me, it was my first RPG as a kid. I can remember, I was talking to John about it. I remember Christmas morning getting my PlayStation with Final Fantasy VII from my mom and my dad. So like there are deep ties to like the emotional connection to it now. And they did give us an incredible 38.5 hour experience.
38.5 out of the 40.
Blew my mind.
Yeah.
Joe, did you go yet? Did Joe do his closing thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I did before. Right? I started this.
Yeah.
Stuff, so you go.
No, John, it's your turn, I think.
Yeah. So like Bart said, like I had a similar experience where like it was my birthday in 1998, and like I had been playing. So I had a friend in 4th grade whose birthday was August 8th. Mine was August 10th. We went to the mall, got this game for his birthday, and it was the first time I ever saw a game that had more than one disc. I didn't even have a PlayStation. I didn't know games could be on separate fucking mediums. You know what I mean? Like, and so we played it all day. It took us like 8 hours to get to the train graveyard, and then the next day, my mom like surprised me with like a PlayStation and the game, and I got up to the train graveyard in like 3 hours, and I had to call this dude and be like, "Yo, I'm past this point. I'm going past it." So like this game has a huge like emotional tie in my life, and like I do my best to play games without like nostalgia glasses on, and like I think objectively, again up until the end, this is a perfect video game. like muddy assets aside, that's really the only thing I can complain about, and like the weird geography of the Sector 7 thing. But like, I'm never gonna let that down. Like, I really think it is a perfect experience. The combat is amazing. The story beats are incredible. The graphics are impressive, and it's just like they did it. You know what I mean? They did it, and we'll see where it goes from here.
I've never had a game outside of maybe Silent Hill 2 that made me feel the way this game made me feel.
Yeah, dude, I cried like twice in this.
Yeah,
and like I know I'm a big softie, but like, just like they were able to convey emotions out of Marlene, like a little tiny child side character, like more than any game I played in the past, like 5 or 6. Like they did such an incredible job.
Yeah, I agree with all you guys, and I just fall in line with everybody else where that last part really hurt me a little bit. It did hurt me, and you know, like this game came out in 1997. I was 12 years old. 12 years old, and I've never seen a game like this. Like the pre-rendered backgrounds, the combat, the way the story was told. There was nothing like this game before the game came out. The narrative, it was more serious than what other games were talking about. There was interesting characters. Like I remember when Cloud doesn't know who he is, and I remember being like 13 years old and being like, I don't know who I am. You know what I mean? Like I don't know the person that I want to be. Like, am I supposed to hang out with this group of friends? Like, am I supposed to do this? I remember the bed sheets, my red checkered bed sheets that I had when I was playing the game. Like, you know, like I relate to a lot of games in my past, and I'm sure a lot of you guys do too. It's bricks of time for me. It's not just a game. The games came out in this brick of time, and I go to the time playing the game. So that's where like a lot of the emotion comes from. And I'm as bad as a softie, especially when it comes to nostalgia shit. I can watch Vader save Luke right now and cry every single time. And I've seen it thousands of times, and I will cry every time I see Vader save Luke. It never fails. But the same thing, like I put myself in those places, and this game, in this chair, like I had to not cry. There were times on stream where I was like this. I was like wiping the tears from my eyes because it was that serious. Like going back to that time and feeling the emotion and being able to live it in another way, in an updated way. And that is one reason why I am more afraid of the future for this game, because I don't think it's now. Like, I know we all have different opinions. I don't think it's gonna be the same, but I want to play Disc 2 again for another 40 hours and witness and feel the same thing that I just felt. When shit starts coming in differently and it's weird shit and other timelines and what the fuck are we doing here? What is this city? I just know I'm going to lose that. It's still going to be great. I'm sure it's going to be amazing, but I'm going to lose that deep sense of connection because I want to...
Yeah, you're going to lose that connection.
Yeah, I want to feel that again because I didn't... There's more to the story. I will say this real quick before we go. My favorite part in the story is when Cloud walks into the sword and throws Sephiroth off the side, because I love that Cloud is a regular man. Like he's a regular man that got knocked down, beat. He gets up and he stabs him, and he's like, "Nah, fuck that! I ain't going down like that. That shit ain't happening." Like that part to me,
with his chest.
That part to me is incredible. Like it's incredible. The average, like I just love that part, and I want to see that. Like I need to see that. Not that I'm not going to, but because of the direction, I get very nervous that I'm gonna get cheated out on being, not that anyone owes it to me, but I shouldn't really say cheated out, but I want to feel that again. I want to see that again now, or excuse me, in 2 or 3 years. So that is why this ending and the potential direction bothers me. But overall, I thought this game was completely incredible, and I'm honored that I got a chance to play it, and even more honored that I was able to be there when the game came out in 1997 and then be able to see it like this. It was quite an experience, and you know what? We're never going to get something like this ever again. There's very few games that I think can do this to us.